Before we begin, the last 2 weeks I've done This Week in Esports, I've worn a hat, and I only have 2 hats. So if you're an esports org, or just a merch company, or a gaming company, or anyone that is open to sending some merch over to me for me to wear, whether it's a hat or a shirt, I mean, I've been promoting Cloud9 and Team Liquid all this time, reach out. Mark would really appreciate it. All right, let's get back into it. Lots of cool stories to cover for This Week in Esports and Gaming for April 26th through May 2nd. I'm your host, Mark Kai, and let's get right into the top 3 stories. For the first top 3 story of the week, if you're in the esports industry, you've probably heard this or seen this, but ECI, or the Esports Certification Institute, they launched and they halted in one day. Now, most of you have probably heard of this, but for a quick recap, for those of you who haven't heard of this, a bunch of very well-respected figures in the esports scene, folks I've actually looked up to and some of whom I've actually spoken to, banded together on the advisory board of ECI to tackle the problem of hiring in the esports industry with the overall goal of adding a new tool for gaming organizations to be able to increase professionalism and diversity by hiring people more based on their knowledge and skill set. The main product of this was a certification exam for esports with an initial 120-question practice exam being put together. Now, this probably would have been fine if they had left it at that, but there is a $400 price tag to it, which caused a lot of controversy within the esports community. However, it was strange because basically every corner of Western esports was covered by those in the advisory board, right? There were execs from Cloud9, G2, Gen G, BITKRAFT, and other esports orgs as well. So people were just kind of upset at ECI instead of those people individually. Given the terrible initial response by the community, within 24 hours, they paused and refunded the exam to anyone who had purchased it. They took down their website, and nearly a third of the advisory board actually asked to be removed after this negative reaction. So that's according to Adam Fitch, and you can see how much PR matters to the brands of these folks on individual basis as well as these esports orgs. They also issued a really extensive apology on Twitter, so one of the better apologies I've seen out there, to be entirely honest. To sum it up, there were lots of unhappy people in the industry, and many, both folks in gaming and esports, made opinion pieces on it. I'm not going to cover it all because you've probably seen it, you've probably heard a bunch. I just want to get your thoughts on it actually, so put down in the comment section what you think about this whole esports examination, because a lot of people think it's gatekeeping. Some people think, hey, maybe the idea is good, but maybe the execution wasn't as good. Would love to hear your thoughts. For our second top 3 story, ESL and Intel, they partnered together for another $100 million investment into esports. Now, we all know that ESL and Intel have been partnered for a very long time, and this celebrates their 20 years for the both of them. Now for those big CSGO fans like me out there, this also means that ESL 1 Cologne is no longer. It is now IEM Cologne. So some actual facts here. The renewal is set to commence in 2022, and we'll see both parties invest over $100 million in esports up until and including IEM Katowice 2025. That's an extra 3 years from when the actual partnership starts. So the investment is expected to bring further product innovations and improvement for fans and players alike. Now, all non-league ESL Pro Tour Circuit CSGO tournaments will be rebranded under Intel's Extreme Masters brand, hence ESL 1 Cologne being called IEM Cologne now, and the partnership has been expanded to include the DreamHack Open and DreamHack Festival for the first time. Now, overall, this is a big win for Valve Games and ESL specifically. You know why? Because games like CSGO and Dota 2, which are the games that ESL is most known for operating esports tournaments in, are very CPU intensive, which thus brings Intel into the limelight. So there are some folks upset about ESL 1 Cologne being renamed, but big whoop, who cares? There's $100 million, which is a lot for esports to be invested over the next couple years, and ESL has really created a name for themselves by hosting tournaments that will surely allow them to continue to innovate in their live events further. I'm also curious how this will impact MTG, which is ESL's parent company's financials. They reported a net loss of $14.7 million in Q1 of 2021, so this will surely help them out, spread over many years. Only time will tell how this pans out for Intel. The Brazilian esports organization Loud partnered with Brazilian rapper GUXTA. He's the first music influencer to be signed with Loud. However, he's not new to Loud at all. In 2020, he launched Zero Farpas in collaboration with the organization. He also debuted his Now Chegui, which featured Loud influencers Loud Coringa and Loud Malb. I apologize if I'm pronouncing all these names incorrectly. Thank you, Brazilians out there, for supporting. My opinions here, GUXTA has a really large following on Instagram with over 600,000 followers. And while I'm not Brazilian, he seems to be very popular amongst Brazilians at only 19 years old. We've seen organizations in the United States do this with Xset signing more artists to their roster, but Brazil doing this is something completely different, given Loud GG was the first esports org to reach 1 billion views in YouTube back in July of 2020, and they're on pace to reach 2 billion views later this year. Loud is one of the organizations that is so regionally based that many in America have maybe never even heard of this, even those familiar with esports. They're basically the 100 Thieves and FaZe clan of Brazil. They're huge into content, influencer, and artists, and are more focused generally on bringing gaming and culture together than winning esports titles, at least least that's what it seems from my end here. So that being said, they still compete in huge titles like Arena Free Fire, Fortnite, and League of Legends. LoudGG is doing content better than any other esport in the world based on viewership, at least on YouTube. With 11 million plus subs on YouTube, they're only beginning their adventure. As far as partnerships go, NRG Esports partnered with The General. NRG's Rocket League team will be renamed The General NRG and have branded jerseys for all future events, with NRG's The Grid broadcast also to be sponsored by The General. Blast Rising partnered with COINBASE, Nubia, and CS.Money. The branding of all three partners will be featured throughout the CSGO tournament, and this includes integrated in-game promotions, giveaways, and content coverage throughout. Huya partners with Riot Games, League of Legends Esports in China for an exclusive media rights deal. This deal includes the LPL, LDL, and LPL's All-Star event. Huya will also produce promotional content such as replays, news, highlights, and commentary using TJ Sports authorized League of Legends resources with this partnership. The Dutch football club's PSV's gaming arm, PSV Esports, partnered with Philips. Philips monitors will supply PSV's esports athletes with its products for tournaments, league play, and individual training at home, and to record with live streams. Brain HP partnered with CLG, Atlanta FaZe, Florida Mutineers, and the New York Excelsior. The newly launched product will collaborate with the entities to develop original content and giveaways to promote the Cognitive Health Dietary Jelly Bean supplement designed for gamers and esports professionals ages 18 years and older. BITKRAFT Ventures partnered with Delphi Digital. BITKRAFT and Delphi will both offer their collective expertise in gaming, esports, digital entertainment, and crypto technology to portfolio companies. BITKRAFT Ventures will also open its strategy to support investments in tokens as an asset class. Virtus.Pro partnered with Halls. Halls will release a promotional video in collaboration with Virtus.Pro's Dota 2 roster. The video will be released on the esports organization's official YouTube channel, along with the branding on VP's social media and website. For finance and M&A, the Philippines-based esports talent agency Tier 1 Entertainment gets an investment from Warner Music Group and Gobi Partners. While the strategic investments were made during the company's pre-Series A funding round, the total amount raised during the round is unfortunately unknown. The funding will be used to set up local operations in other Asian countries outside of Malaysia, Myanmar, and the Philippines, where they currently operate. Krafton donated $200,000 to the PM CARES Fund to support India in their COVID-19 relief efforts. India is currently going through a second wave of the COVID-19 pandemic with a drastic rise in confirmed cases in big cities like Delhi and Mumbai. It's nice to see Krafton help here in a time of need. Facebook acquired Downpour Interactive. Downpour is the developer of Onward, a tactical VR first-person shooter that has been in early access for nearly 5 years now. While the financials were not revealed, Oculus pointed to the studio's cultivation of a community over that span as a particular strength. Epic acquired artist platform ArtStation, and ArtStation will continue to operate as an independently branded platform while collaborating closely with the Unreal Engine team. Two big changes come instantly here. Epic is lowering the standard platform holder fee on ArtStation Marketplace from 30% to 12%, and Epic will make the ArtStation learning streaming video service free for ArtStation subscribers for the remainder of the year. The digital entertainment platform Azerion raised $242 million. A majority of the funds will be used to expand the company's presence in the Nordic and European markets by way of multiple acquisitions. For workforce changes, Stephen Rigby joins the board of Rivalry. Rigby spent 5 years as a president and CEO of the Ontario Lottery and Gaming Corporation, where he was responsible for the operation and transformation of Canada's largest provincial betting company. He was also previously Canada Border Service Agency's president and held the deputy ministerial position of National Security Advisor to the Prime Minister of Canada. Jordan Savelli joins Prodigy Agency as an agent. Savelli will be scouting and signing mainly new CSGO and Valorant talents, as well as securing opportunities for the agency's existing players. Savelli previously served as the director of esports for Nice Cactus, and he also brings over several years of experience with managing and supporting teams like Team Envy. Monica Dinsmore announced that she's at EA now as a Senior Director of Business Operations and Projects for FIFA Esports. Dinsmore, who left Riot Games in January to join EA in the new role, spent 6.5 years at the company in various roles, including Head of Publishing Esports Europe, Head of Operations and Delivery Esports Europe, Senior Development Manager for North America Publishing, and Senior Development Manager for Corporate Operations. Renee Hall joins Evil Geniuses as the Director of Gaming Operations. Hall worked previously for nearly 4 years at Red Bull Media House as a Partnerships Marketing Manager and a Partnerships and Events Specialist. Paul Condolora joins ProGuides as his COO. In his new role, Condolora will help ProGuides accelerate growth and streamline operations, as well as secure key hires. Condolora is an entertainment and gaming industry vet who has held executive positions at Turner, where he led the digital division for Cartoon Network, Adult Swim, and GameTap. For new stuff, Fight Esports launched their Fight Campus League. Fight Campus League looks to bolster gaming communities among colleges and universities within the regions of Southeast Asia. The event's regional leagues are expected to feature a range of esports titles as well. Tumi launched an esports bag collection. The collection will consist of an esports large pro backpack, pro sling, pro accessories case, and pro crossbody. It was designed with the top esports athletes in mind and to maximize functionality. That's it for this week in esports. Credit to the Esports Insider, the Esports Observer, Games Industry Biz, and the orgs and authors themselves for providing the images and press releases. If you know someone who would find this valuable, please tag them down below. And once again, have a great day, everybody.